What's going on, everyone? Talon here, and welcome to the introduction to a new series that I'm going to be trying out, and that's going to be called Character Lab. Alright, so in this series we're going to be testing out all the characters in 3 of the major game modes, and that is going to be World Boss. So for World Boss, I'm going to try to keep it consistent and just fight Thanos for each of the tests. Of course, if there is requests that I should try it against other world bosses, I may change that around, but I kind of want to keep it consistent, and Thanos seems like a nice option for that, just because I don't have to worry about energy and physical attacks kind of needing the advantage, say for Supergiant or Black Dwarf. And then I also don't have to worry about getting stun locked by Proxima or feared by Supergiant or the iframes of Ebony Maw. So Thanos just seems like a more consistent option. I don't have to rely too much on, say, not getting stun locked, not worrying about iframes, those kind of things. Alright, and then we're also going to be looking at Shadowlands is going to be the other game mode, and finally Alliance Conquest. So those are the 3 we're going to be testing out each character in. So for right now, the plan is going to be to look at all of the characters alphabetically. So that's how I'm going to be starting off. Of course, if there is a lot of requests to see a certain character, then I will do that character. If I decide that I feel like working on a certain character, I might just go ahead and do that character in the video instead. But for right now, it's going to be alphabetically, and I kind of want to keep it to looking at the characters mainly as a tier 1 option. Of course, I will mention their tier 2 if it makes them a lot better for certain game modes. But for right now, I kind of want to evaluate them at tier 1. But of course, if I already have them at tier 2, I will take that into account when I get around to doing them in the video. So, I also want to kind of make the video more for kind of like average players. So I'm not really going to take into account players that have, say, super high card stats or have worked on the character quite a bit to have, like, say, fully awakened ISO 8, have like a really good obelisk, that kind of thing. I kind of want to just look at the character as more of like an average option. So I'm not necessarily going to be taking those things into account. So I may say, for example, that a certain character cannot clear a floor in Shadowlands very easily, that it might be extremely difficult for them. But some people may say, oh, I clear that stage quite easily with that character, but say have a really good obelisk and like a really strong ISO 8 or something like that, or really strong cards. So I kind of just want to keep it more of like a baseline for like average level stats and cards and those kind of things when looking at the characters. So that's pretty much it for the introduction of how I'm going to be looking at the characters. So now how about I go ahead and take you guys to the character lab so I can kind of show you what that's going to look like. Alright, so here we are at the character lab. So it looks pretty nice in here. It's a nice clean workspace, so we'll be able to test out and analyze the heroes and villains as we go through them quite effectively in here. So let's take a look around real fast. It's kind of barren right now, but as we get into a real episode, it will start filling up with some of the stats and some videos and stuff like that as we evaluate the characters. As you can see in the top right corner, there is a game version stated there, and basically that's going to be there in all of the episodes, so that you know this the game version that the test was done in, basically. So if there was any character rebalances or new uniforms released for that character in a later version, you will know that that was not taken into account during the testing in this video. Alright, so that's going to be a brief look at the character lab here. You'll be able to see it more in action in the first episode of the series, which will be out the day after this introduction is posted or released. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this new series, and I will see you guys in the first episode. Take care.